The planet we inhabit is an incredible place. It has been around for 4.56 billion years and throughout that time has constantly been changing. It supports incredible and diverse ecosystems. The human race has learned to conquer our planet. We developed ways to travel across oceans and continents. We discovered methods to survive extreme temperatures and ways to use the environment to our advantage. No other organism in the history of Earth has had these capabilities. However, the growth and development of the human race is beginning to damage our planet. In order to support the world's human population growth and civilizations, we have strongly relied on the burning of fossil fuels to provide energy. This has helped us to advance to where we are at today, but it could also lead to our downfall. The natural carbon cycle on Earth is a sensitive system. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere acts as a shield to trap heat. Without this part of our atmosphere, it would be too cold to sustain the life we have on Earth today. However, by burning fossil fuels, we are releasing large, unnatural amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This in return is causing our atmosphere to trap more heat than normal, causing a rise in temperature worldwide. According to the National Resources Defense Council, scientists say that the Earth could warm by an additional 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit during the 21st century if we fail to reduce emissions from burning fossil fuels such as coal and oil. This rise in average temperature will have far-reaching effects on the Earth's climate patterns and on all living organisms. Many of these changes have already begun. Global warming can drastically affect weather patterns, human health, wildlife, glaciers, and sea levels. If something is not done soon to stop this warming trend, life as we know it will quickly make a drastic change. The effects of global warming are becoming more and more evident each year. Temperatures worldwide are increasing, causing an unusual amount of natural disasters such as the devastating earthquakes that occurred in Haiti in 2010 and Japan in 2011. The more we rely on fossil fuels, the more drastic conditions will become. Over the past few decades, we have developed technologies that can generate power using the Earth's sun, wind, and ocean waves. These clean sources of energy will allow us to continue to thrive without causing such a drastic change to our atmosphere. The trend for clean energy is already starting to emerge in consumers. Each year, more and more people are purchasing environmental-friendly cars, and homeowners around the world have started installing solar panels to provide clean household energy. This is a good start to help reduce our CO2 output, but in order for it to be effective, we must start implementing clean energy on a much larger scale. Former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger made an executive order that required utilities to obtain one-third of their energy from renewable sources by 2020. The California State Legislature made this law in 2011. This order started a solar rush. Companies flocked to the Mojave Desert to create solar fields that can meet California's 2020 energy target. The sunny desert environment in this region provides ideal conditions for solar energy systems. One of the biggest projects currently in progress is Bright Source's Ivanpah Valley project located near the California-Nevada border. This is a $2.2 billion solar electric generating system that will generate 370 megawatts of electricity. The project was guaranteed a $1.6 billion federal loan as well as $500 million from investors like Google and Morgan Stanley. The project broke ground in October 2010, and once the entire project is completed, it will generate enough energy to power 140,000 homes. With efforts like this from around the world, we may be able to start reversing the damage we have already done to our atmosphere. Multiple solar companies are planning and starting construction on solar fields to be built in this area. However, the building of solar fields on this land has caused much environmental controversy. The land the Ivanpah Valley project and other solar projects are being built on is in a delicate desert environment. The discovery of the threatened desert tortoise on the Bright Source project forced the company to cease construction until the issue was resolved. The company was also threatened with litigation from environmental groups such as the Sierra Club because of the devastating effects the project was having on the local environment. Other companies trying to develop solar fields in this region are facing similar environmental problems. This land is ideal for solar energy systems as well as the diverse, sensitive desert ecosystem that currently occupies it. Since the effort to provide cleaner energy is so detrimental to the future of our planet, it is important that environmental groups such as the Sierra Club and solar companies come to a general understanding on the issue and learn to resolve future conflicts by working together. The Sierra Club and other environmental groups are trying to make solar projects in the area have as little impact as possible on the local environment. A statement on the Sierra Club website says, "From Yosemite National Park to the Grand Canyon, since 1892 the Sierra Club has been instrumental in preserving nature's most splendid wild places. If more people would have had this mindset in the past, we might not be in the current climate situation we are in today." However, their effort to protect the environment has caused conflicts in recent solar projects. The site for the Ivanpah Valley project is located in a habitat crawling with a threatened species of desert tortoise. According to a peer-reviewed article published by the American Institute of Biological Sciences, the desert tortoise acts as an umbrella species, extending protection to other plants and animals within its range. Tortoises are important as ecological engineers who construct burrows that provide shelter to many other animal species, which allows them to escape the temperature extremes of the desert. The desert tortoise is crucial to the local environment. If this species is eradicated, countless other animals in the ecosystem would die off. This could result in the collapse of the entire surrounding ecosystem. The Sierra Club has made it its goal to try and stop this destruction. Also, along with the desert tortoise, other rare species inhabit the land, including the red-tailed hawk and Mojave ground squirrel. Respecting these animals is important not only because they are critical to their surrounding environment, but also because they are fellow inhabitants of this planet. Deforestation, overhunting, overfishing, construction, and pollution have already made countless numbers of species already become extinct. Species such as the Tasmanian tiger and the Baja River dolphin are examples of incredible animals that no longer exist due to human causes. It is important that we learn from our past mistakes and start to protect and preserve these animals so they are not lost forever. The disappearance of the desert tortoise is not the only threat to the surrounding environment. The construction process itself drastically affects local wildlife. It is not a simple task building a $2 billion solar field. In order to get materials on site, there first needs to be construction of paved and unpaved roads. Roads and urban development continue to contribute to habitat fragmentation in this landscape. Large-scale energy development has the potential to add to and exacerbate the situation, presenting potential barriers to movement and genetic exchange in wildlife populations. Barriers presented by roads and facilities separate animals of the same species. This separation can limit animal reproduction, causing populations to dwindle. Also, the tools and equipment used during construction produce loud, unnatural noise in the surrounding environment. This can affect animal stress levels, immune systems, ability to detect prey, as well as present the risk of hearing loss in certain animals. In addition, according to the article by Lovick and Ennin, solar facilities may also have the ability to produce significant amounts of unused heat that could be carried downwind to adjacent wildlife habitat with the potential to create a localized drought condition. These are just some of the effects the construction process can have on local environments. Organizations like the Sierra Club and other environmental groups have made it their duty to protect these environments and their inhabitants from the destructive forces of man. By doing this, they are protecting threatened and endangered species and preserving natural ecosystems. There is no arguing the fact that the construction of solar fields in the southwestern United States will have devastating consequences on the surrounding desert environment. Solar companies are aware of this and are doing what they can to try to limit the amount of damage they are causing local ecosystems. According to the official BrightSource Ivanpah Valley website, in order to accommodate for these tortoises, the companies had to spend $22 million caring for the desert tortoises found on site and another $34 million on habitat restoration and protective fencing. This controversy also stalled project work on certain areas for 3 months. These solar companies are not big evil corporations that are only concerned with money. They are companies with a very ethical purpose who are working with the resources they have. The southwestern United States provides the best location to start producing mass solar energy. The flat valleys and extreme amounts of sunlight make it the perfect environment for solar fields. These companies are simply trying to make the switch to cleaner sources of energy because they understand the environmental repercussions that will happen if we don't. Global climate change poses a much larger threat to ecosystems around the world than any amount of solar construction. According to the peer-reviewed article, An Overview of Global Climate Changing and Current Scenario and Mitigation Action, climate change results in decreased diversity of ecosystems, adding more species to the rare category each year and making many extinct. Also, scientists predict that a 3.6 degree Fahrenheit increase in temperature would wipe out 97% of the world's coral reefs. There is no doubt that climate change will dramatically affect life around the globe. BrightSource Energy's chief executive, John Woolard, acknowledged this by saying, "Climate change is the biggest driver of species extinction there is. In order to reverse the damage we have already done to our atmosphere and save species from extinction, it is essential that we make the change to cleaner sources of energy. Time is not on our side, and we need to start reducing CO2 emissions as soon as possible. Solar companies realize this urgency and are devoting billions of dollars to try and fix our climate problem before it's too late." However, organizations such as the Sierra Club and other environmental groups are making it hard to accomplish this goal. By ensuring that local environments are not affected These environmental groups are scaring off developers of other projects in the area. Solar projects still in the preparation stage are already giving up due to other environmental conflicts. Early in 2011, German developer Solar Millennium's U.S. venture abandoned a 250 megawatt solar project after 16 months of environmental review because of concerns over its impact on the Mojave ground squirrel. The Ivanpah Valley project was a test to see if solar energy could successfully be provided on a large scale. John Woolard commented on this by saying, "If Ivanpah doesn't move forward or can't be done, then we should write off all renewable energy in the country." It is important that big solar projects like this are supported. We have to accept the fact that this is not a perfect system and some sacrifices are going to have to be made for the greater good, even if it means some ecosystems are going to be damaged or destroyed. The outcome of changing to a cleaner source of energy will greatly help the future of our planet. To conclude, the conflict between environmental groups and solar companies continues to be an issue. In March 2012, the Sierra Club sued the U.S. Bureau of Land Management, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the U.S. Department of Interior in federal district court in California. They argued that the government violated environmental laws by failing to adequately consider the impact of calico, another solar project, on the desert tortoise and other threatened wildlife. I respect what the Sierra Club is doing. They are making a strong effort to protect threatened and endangered species and the ecosystems they occupy. They are ensuring that solar projects have as little an impact as possible on the surrounding environment. However, the only thing I ask of the Sierra Club and other environmental groups is that they take into consideration that these solar projects are also trying to benefit the environment. Global warming is a huge danger to the future of our planet. There will be devastating consequences to ecosystems worldwide if we cannot adopt cleaner sources of energy. If successful, the solar projects in the southwest United States could be the start to the widespread use of renewable energy worldwide. It is important that these projects succeed, and that can only happen with widespread support. The fate of our planet depends on it.